Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and happy new year. I hope you all had a great festive season or just a good new year or whatever you celebrate. It is so nice to be back and I'm going to be starting off the year with my completed valley tour. I wanted to complete my valley by the end of 2025, so I did manage to do that over the Christmas break. I had a little bit of spare time where I finished decorating the bits that I needed to. I had a couple of biomes that were like half done or needed a bit of work, so I have now completely finished my base game valley. I'm also working on just finishing up the final bits of completing the Wish Blossom Ranch map, so that tour will be coming at some point in the next few weeks once I can get it all finished and wrapped up. And then if you guys do want to see Eternity Isle or Storybook Vale completely decorated, I have done tours of those previously, so I'll link all the tours I've ever done in the description in case you want to see how they have looked in the past. Storybook Vale and Eternity Isle are completely empty now, so if there's anything in particular you want to see in there or you want to see those completed, that is something I'm more than happy to work on, even if we, do it on a stream together or something like that. But for today, we are going through my main base game valley. I have a significant amount of hours in the game, so it has been a long time doing this. Obviously, it's chopped and changed over the years, but this is my completed one for the end of 2025, so I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get started. So as you can see, to start off with, we are starting in my plaza. Now, recently, kind of most of 2025, I had my plaza as a main city, but I decided to end off 2025 with something a little bit different. So I went for a more rustic, cozy village in here. So I went for something that you guys probably haven't seen. I can link down below what my plaza looked like previous to this. But for now, I wanted to add in these cozy kind of village sections. We've got the library and the flower shop. Obviously, a lot of these houses in here are premium houses, because there's not any characters living up in this biome. It is more like a little cottage city, really. And I had so many of these premium shop houses I hadn't used, and it just felt a bit sad that they were kind of just sat there not being used. So I decided to put them in here. So I just created this really kind of rustic look. As you can see, I went for the unbordered brick pathway, added some of the little rock pebbles on top to just give it a little bit of dimension, and then added a bunch of foliage all around the edges. I use foliage in all my biomes from every single DLC, but some of these biomes were obviously done before Wish Blossom Ranch came out. This one wasn't. This was a post Wish Blossom Ranch creation, so obviously there is a lot of that in here, and then obviously ones from the other DLCs as well. On the other side, we've obviously got a couple more premium shop houses. We've got the butterfly gazebo again from the premium shop, and then also some more kind of village buildings on the other side. I probably will go back and have my plaza as a city eventually, some point this year again, because I did love having it as a city. But as I'd had my Forgotten Lands kind of built up as a little bit of a city, and also kind of had a mini one up in Frosted Heights that you'll see later on, I decided to go for something a little bit different in here, and I kind of was loving this whimsical kind of natural look, and I just felt like these little bakeries and coffee shops and stuff fit really well with that theme, so I went for something a bit different, as you can see. So that was kind of my main thoughts for my plaza. And then moving on from that, we are going to our meadow. If you haven't seen, I did do a video over the Christmas season of this becoming a princess meadow, so I will link that down below. But I basically wanted to see how many princesses I could fit in my peaceful meadow. So down here, obviously on the left, we've got Ariel's house in this big pond, and then we've got Snow White's opposite. I wanted to do my best to blend all these houses in, because obviously some of them don't really fit too well together or don't really blend with the biome. Like, for example, Snow White's has got snow on the top, so I had to try and blend that in as best as I could. In here I went for a similar pathing style, but I went for the unbordered leafy pathway, but again went for a similar style as the plaza, with kind of lining it with plants and shrubbery and things like that, but wanted to make it feel a lot warmer in here. I obviously put the flowery well skin on in the center. And then some of these really cute archways we get from, I think it's a Tiana quest. I know they're to go with her restaurant. I can't remember whose quest it was though. But those I have in here as well. They're just craftable. And then obviously when we come down the right hand side, we've got Aurora's house from Storybook Vale. I think this one's probably one of the ones that fits the best in here. It really fits the vibe. And then coming around in this big alcove section, I obviously added in Cinderella's castle, because it is absolutely massive. Plus she was new to the game when I did this, so I wanted to be able to add in the castle walls and the carriage and the little pumpkin design. So I wanted to give her a little bit more space, as she was the newest. So she's in that alcove, and then as we head around the opposite side, we've got Tiana's house, and I just popped her stall outside to just kind of go with her home. And then her little neighbour in here is Mulan, who will be coming up on now. And I added in some decorations to the ponds, added in the little Mulan themed fountain from the premium shop as well. And then obviously some little items outside her house. I kind of wanted to make it that every single character house had something to do with their character outside. For some of them it was quite difficult because there was limited space. Like for example here with Merida's, I've added in the little archery thing we got with her, but there wasn't too much I could add because of space. And then obviously in this corner we have got Rapunzel's tower, which was pretty easy to fit in, and then we've got Belle and Beast's castle in this larger section because again it's such a big house, where we've got Beast's little greenhouse and then obviously the little dining table as well. But I feel like I did my best to kind of cater each area to each different princess. So moving on from that, we are going now down to Dazzle Beach. Now this is the biome I've had half done for so long. Well, not even half. I think I had like just the dock section of it done. I made it into a pirate theme, which was a video a long time ago. But I wanted to get it finished. So in this first small section, we've obviously got the well, and then we have got Moana's home, and I also added in her fishing boat here because I didn't really have any space anywhere else, and I just felt like it made sense to be by her house. So next to this exit to the glade, we've got her home. I added the Hey Hey house and also some little sun loungers. I was able to kind of give her more decoration down here, which is why I didn't put her in the princess meadow, just because I wanted to make sure she could kind of have a more tailored area and have her boat with her and all of that. So she's as close to the meadow as I could get her without her being in it. And then as we carry down this smaller section, we've obviously got some decoration on the beach, like a little lifeguard tower. We've got one of the camper vans from the premium shop, and then one of the sandcastles from that little set we got. Now as we go across, the wooden bridge is the area I've had done for a long time, which is my kind of pirate themed dock. So in here I've added in the boat we got from Eternity Isle, which is absolutely massive, but I loved how it looked in here, and I surrounded it with lots of pirate treasure, a little lost and found stall, and then on the dock section I added in all my stalls from the different characters. So we've got Kristoff's, Aladdin's, Mulan's, and obviously the Goofy stall. And then at the end of the dock, we have got Prince Eric's ship, to really feel like this is where the pirates or the travelers would come and stop off and buy things on the beach. As we head down from there, we've just got the little cobbled pathway leading us past some more pirate themed items, and then we have got a little alcove section that heads us to Donald's boat. I just felt like it worked in here, and I just felt like it fit the theme. And then if we sneak past here, we go to our little island. Again, this is a part of my beach that has been done for a very, very long time, which is my mermaid theme island. I did this when we got the star path with these items in earlier this year. I just really wanted to find a spot for them, but not have it be too much of my beach, because I knew there was so much I wanted to include in here, so I added this into the island. Originally I did have Ariel by this, but obviously moved her to the meadow with the princesses, so it is kind of still her little spot with a lot of the Ariel themed items, but I wanted to still include this in here to kind of fit with Skull Rock and also showcase some of these items off. As we head back onto the beach, you can see I've added in the little aerial fountain and placed some fountain tiles underneath, and then we go on to our kind of unbordered rocky pathway. I love this on the beach. We've got our tiki hut, which is again a shop building from the premium shop, which I hadn't had a chance to use yet, and then we have got Stitch's little tea shop, which I absolutely love this building. I added some tables outside to make it feel like an actual cafe, added in another one of the camper vans in the other colour scheme, and then the little truck and stuff that comes with that Stitch bundle. I absolutely love that bundle, and I wanted to include as much of the items from it in the build, and I always have this tea house somewhere because I just love the style of it. So I have that in that larger grassy section, and then as we head down the path, you can see I've again gone for that like bordered floral look. And as we head through there, we've got the beach house, which was a very, very early premium shop house. I remember getting this so early on in the game, and I just added in a swimming pool outside, a lounger, and the little tiki bar to kind of feel like an upscale place to stay in this section. In our final section, next to the exits out to the meadow and the forest, we've got Stitch's house. I added in some of the little floral hedges in here to kind of cut it off, a little sandcastle, which I feel like he would make with friends, and then we've got the little bench with some food and also the little hammocks for him and his friends to hang out in. And then after that, we're heading up to the Forest of Valor. We are going in from the plaza just because I feel like it's the best spot to come in from. And as you can see, again, I've gone for a very similar theme of the bordered pathway. I went for the Ancient's Landing pathway that you get from Eternity Isle, the unbordered version. And again, added a lot of foliage around to blend it in. We've got the little pinecone house, which I definitely wanted to include somewhere, a gazebo. And then the first kind of area onto kind of straight on from that is where my player house is. I added in one of the Storybook Vale fountains and the little pergola and the little campfire area. Surrounded that with some fencing, and then obviously added in the Enchanted Home from the premium shop, which is my current house skin. I have loved this house skin since it came out, and I decided to stick with it. I just think it's so cute, so I went with that in here and kind of tailored my theme around it. As we head out from there, you can see I obviously went for a lot of warm lighting in here and added a lot of the glowing mushrooms to give it that extra lighting feel. We have then got the Orchard Home, which came in one of the Moonstone bundles a while ago, which again, as a house I hadn't had a chance to use yet, so I added that in here and added in some little tables outside. And then I added in the new Witchy Cottage, which we got in a recent Star Path, and the little kind of greenhouse table outside to create kind of a little witchy look. This is quite a small house, so it was perfect to fit in this tiny little gap. And then straight on from that, I made a makeshift bridge and added in some of the Neverland river kit to look like we are going over a little mini river. And this is where we go into our kind of mini Toontown. So in here I've changed the pathway up and gone for the more like brown brick, and we've got Mickey's house on the left. Opposite him we've got Daisy, and then next to her we've got Goofy, and opposite him we've got Minnie. Obviously I would have loved to have had Donald up here as well, but there just wasn't enough space in the water sections, and obviously I'd found a spot for him on the beach, so sadly he is not with them, but I just felt like these guys look really cute up here, and I went for a more structured look for their houses with the white fence and everything around it as well. Heading over this like rocky bridge, we go into my Winnie the Pooh theme section. Now obviously I do have a Winnie the Pooh theme section in Wish Blossom Ranch now, but I still wanted to keep this in here just because I love it so much. So as you can see, I've added in the little 100-acre wood tree. I have got one of the other little premium shop houses, which when I originally did this build, which I'll link below, I felt like it looked like a kind of 800-acre wood cafe was kind of the vibe I went for. I've then obviously got the honeybee house and obviously a lot of the bee themed items around. Again, another makeshift bridge using the Neverland river kit, which I love using in here. And then we have got the little green cottage, which again is one of my favorite premium shop houses that we have. If we sneak off behind there, we get to Elsa's Cave, which I haven't done a huge amount of decoration of. And then obviously a little path leading up to Frosted Heights. But we will go into Frosted Heights from the main icy staircase. I feel like it's the best way to go in. As you can see, I've put the Aurora Borealis item over Frosted Heights, which I got from the premium shop. I absolutely love this. I do wish we could have more, but that's where I popped it for now. I've added in the wintry stall and well skins, and then we've got first off Olaf's little play section. That's kind of what I wanted this to be, and I've used some of the new cobbled pathway from Wish Blossom Ranch. Again, this video was a part of Buildmas, so I will link it down below so you guys can see how this actual whole area was made. But this is where I included my horse stalls. You can put one in every single map, so I decided to pop it up here and make this be kind of an Arendelle themed biome. So obviously we've used a lot of the Wish Blossom Ranch items up here, kind of created these stalls themed around Arendelle, and tried to keep it kind of as natural as possible up here. But like I said, the full video has a full breakdown, so I will leave that down below if you want to kind of see how it was done in real time. Heading through there, I used some of the Arendelle walls to create this mini little courtyard. I added in some of the new Star Path items like this little fireplace, and also some of the other little tables and chairs and things like that. It's quite a small space, but I wanted to kind of challenge myself to create a village in such a small area, and kind of do it so it was themed around that way. Now if we zoom back round, we will go into the next section from this entrance, and this is where I have the Arendelle Castle, so Anna, Kristoff and Olaf's home, and this has a lot more of an icy theme in here. I used Touch of Magic rugs to create this icy pathway. I wanted it to have an icy brick look, and I kept it very blue and very white in here. So we've got the castle, and then if we head off to the left, we have got the icy palace that we got in the premium shop, which I like to imagine is Elsa's home rather than that cave. And I also added in some of the icy river kit to again create kind of a moat look. and make it look like we're walking over that. And again, added in a lot of icy and crystal items to fit the vibe. So the next biome we're going in, we are shuffling all the way back down and we are going to the Glade of Trust. So in here, as you may know, it is a fairy theme. I have had to change it up a little bit because I did have Peter Pan in the back of here, but I have moved him over to Wish Blossom Ranch to be with Tinkerbell. But first off, we've got the fairy centerpiece, then we've got the Pixie Mill and Tinkerbell's house, not her actual house, the premium shop one, on the left and right. I added a lot of the Neverland River kit in here as well to add that kind of water effect and go with the vibe. And then the spot where Peter Pan was, I have now added in this really cute orange glowing house, and I added in some of the little cocoa leaves to go with that. And then I tucked my player portal in here just because I had no clue where to put it. I struggle with this so much because it just never fits the vibe of what I'm going for, but I felt like the rainbow colours of it kind of went with the theme in here, so I've kind of tucked it and hidden it away in here to kind of fit a little bit. Heading over the rocky bridge, we go under some of these flower archways, which were from the Wonderland Star Path, and then this is where I've got my kind of little statues. I've got them all lined up from each biome, and then we've also got some dreamlight trees in here to create kind of a lovely sparkle. We've got a little gazebo as well as another one of the fountains with the floral rug underneath. We have then got the wilted flower little cottage with a little campfire outside. Obviously in here I used a lot of mushrooms and a lot of the storybook veil foliage because it has got that kind of whimsical theme to it. So there is a lot of that in here. We've also got the flowery house. And then heading through, we have got the little pixie balloon as well as the kind of Pirates of the Caribbean statue, which I just loved the kind of old school look of that in here. It was a bit random, but I just felt like it worked. Something I will say, I did do this biome, this side before Wish Blossom Ranch, so all the foliage in here doesn't include anything from Wish Blossom Ranch if you are curious or if you don't have it, just so you know. Obviously I probably will at some point go through and add some stuff from that, but at the moment there is nothing from that in here because it was done before. As we go past the mushroom house, we then go into the other side where we've got Fairy Godmother's home next to this pond with her little pumpkin field. And then on the opposite side, we have got the Dreamlight Library where Merlin lives and create kind of a little desk area for him next to the bigger river area. Heading out from there, we've got obviously another Dreamlight tree. I wanted to include a couple of them in here to give everything a really lovely sparkle. And then we've got our exit out to the meadow as well as our well and the exit out to Dazzle Beach. Walking around from there, we are just going to quickly overlap this bit that we've already walked through because Glade of Trust has that little section in the middle next to Mother Gothel's tree, which I always find really difficult to fit things on. Usually I just make it kind of an overgrown area. But in the Wonderland Star Path, we got this adorable tiny teapot house, which is so small, and it was the perfect size to fit in here. So I've added that in, added a lot of overgrown foliage around it, and also added in Goofy's stall to be accessed in this area. So next off, we are moving up to the left and we are going into the Sunlit Plateau. Again, this was a biome I had half done for a very long time. I'd done this first section but hadn't done the back area. So I've now finished it. So if we first come in, we have obviously got our farm and Wally's little courtyard area. I can link down below the build for the farm section and kind of any other bits that I've done on this side as well. But first off, in this kind of dusky bit where we originally get Scar, I added in Wally, added in the big billboard and his farm. I wanted it to feel really run down and really dry in here, but still obviously have lots of references to his character, which I really love. Opposite that, we've got our orchard farm, so we have got a pathway, and then we've got all of the fruit, trees and bushes that we can get in the main valley. This is great because these are easily accessible when we need them, when I need to stock up or if I need to collect things for Star Path and things like that. And then I added in Owl's Toy Barn at the end, which is from the premium shop, but obviously had it rotated, which is how I always display it. I don't think I've ever had it the right way around to look like a traditional barn. We've then got the Bell farmhouse, which I love having as a traditional farmhouse in here. The interior is actually decorated as a farmhouse as well, so it fit really perfectly in here. And then we've got a little market stall section with some of the fruit and veggies on display, as well as the Judy Hops stall as well. Now carry on through there, we have got our mining section, so I added in Gaston's house here just because I felt like it kind of fit the mining vibe. somehow, and I added in some of the mine carts that we got with Oswald, as well as a little bit of water structure and overgrown grass to kind of lead into the Vitalis mines and look like an actual mining system. I love doing that next to the mines. I feel like it makes sense. And then opposite that, we have got a little pathway leading us into Mirabelle's casita. Again, this was a video where I wanted to challenge myself to try and fit this massive house in a small space. So I added in some of the casita walls from the premium shop, a table for her and her family to hang out at, and managed to squeeze the house into this spot. Again, I will link that down below for you. And now on this side, this is the part that I hadn't done at all. So this is a Lion King theme section. As you can see, I continued the overgrown foliage theme around the sun-baked road. And that was the pathway I used all the way throughout here. We have got Simba, Nala, Timon and Pumbaa's home, and then tucked around the back we've got the little pottery stands we got from a quest with them, as well as the really cute beds that we got as well to kind of look like really fancy sun loungers where they'd hang out. I also added in the waterfall next to the home because it's absolutely huge and I just love how it looks. And then heading around, we've obviously got our well. We obviously don't have a Lion King themed well, so I went with the Agrabah one, same as on Dazzle Beach, because it kind of has the right vibe. And then as we head through there, we've got a little dining table, and then opposite that we have got the Lion King shop, which is from a Disney park. And then obviously heading out to the little bridge, we've got a little hammock and just some more seating spaces. And then for the shop, I added in some of the branch twigs to kind of introduce us in, and some little waterfalls, and then use fencing to kind of section it off. Then next to the pond, we can head round the path, and as you can see, this is where Scar's lair is. I wanted to tuck him right into the corner so he was slightly hidden. And then next to his house, I added in the hyena cave, as well as some of the little animal bones and things like that to kind of fit his darker theme, but still have him included in this Lion King themed area. Now the final biome is obviously Forgotten Land, so we're going to head in from Wally's area, and as you can see we go straight through the Halloween themed archway entrance that we got in the premium shop. And as I said before, this area is a lot more city based, so up here I wanted to kind of see if I can make a city up here. So again, I will link the video in the description of me doing this, but obviously we've got Daisy's shop, we've got Scrooge's, we've got Tiana's restaurant, Remy's home and Remy's restaurant. I also added in the little potion shop that we got from the premium shop over Halloween. I've also added Goofy's stall and some seating in here. And then the kind of main feature on the opposite side is the Nightmare Before Christmas Haunted Mansion. I wanted it to feel like maybe like the mayor or something lived here. I just felt like it just looked very grand in here, and obviously used some fencing and some statues to border it to give it that really nice spooky vibe. I obviously added in a lot of pumpkins, a lot of warm lighting, and a lot of Halloween items in here to go with the spooky theme. As we head around back towards the entrance, we have got the actual Nightmare Before Christmas town hall from the premium shop, as well as the car and some other items that fit that theme. It's quite a small building, so it tucked in this corner really well. And then next to that, I have made a graveyard, so I've added in some makeshift graveyards, as well as some of the actual coffins that we got from our previous star path. Now as we head down the back, this is kind of our secret route to the rest of the biome, so I added in some of the darker pathway, obviously that's always been in Forgotten Lands. Again, unbordered with lots of floral kind of design around the edge of it. I've added in the tiny little haunted house, as well as the Well of Souls. And then as we go through the Nightmare Before Christmas archway, we come into our other side. We've obviously got a gazebo in here with some seating. We have got the Maleficent style house with lots of witchy items around the outside. I wanted to include as much of the spooky stuff as we had, because I really do love using it all, but obviously it's hard to fit it all in one space, so it is quite a condensed biome, but I quite love that. I added in some of the castle walls to break things up and cover the massive tree house that's in the way. And then I've got the bat themed home with some of the newer trees. And then finally we've got Jack and Sally's home with lots of Nightmare Before Christmas themed items around, his little chair, as well as the hill in the back. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the tour of my valley. I'm glad it is finished, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. As I said, a lot of it's been done for a very long time. So any kind of builds that I've done previously that are included in this, I will leave in the description, as well as previous tours I've done of both my main valley and the DLC valleys, just so if you guys do want to see how I've done things previously or how other places looked, then you are more than welcome to see that. Obviously, I don't know how long it will stay like this. I'm hoping for quite a while. It depends what I want to do when new characters come in, because if their houses are cute, they will be living here. But obviously there is quite a few characters in here, especially in the meadow and the forest, but I definitely have a lot that aren't even in here. So if you do want to see where they live, or you have a particular character that you're not sure what to do with their house, I'm sure they'll be on another map somewhere. So let me know if you want to see where they are at. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content and you want to see more cozy content from me, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!